I was relieved for a minute, but then it hit me to check the rest of my apartment. After finding nothing, I made sure all my windows and front door was locked. They all already were. I think it goes without saying. I had quite a lot of trouble sleeping the rest of the night. My boyfriend didn't experience near as much as I did, but he believes me and has had some experiences of his own. Randomly waking up in an absolute panic in the middle of the night for no reason. With the feeling of absolute dread, like something is in the room with you. It all came full circle when one night I heard what sounded like the silverware drawer opening suddenly, and then slamming shut while in bed with my boyfriend. I didn't even get up to check and see what it was. At this point, we were really just trying to ignore everything. However, that morning I was going down to the first floor to get my mail. I lived above a restaurant and I was friendly with the owner, but we never really spoke much. I happened to run into him and we started small talk, and I told him I was moving. He said, "Well, really?" And then he asked if I had ever experienced anything while living there. At first I thought he meant just with people in the alley harassing me. And I said, "Well, sure. People go through my trash sometimes." And he stopped me and said, "No. I mean things you can't explain happening in the apartment." And my face went white. And I told him as a matter of fact yes, and I asked why he was wondering. He told me that he had customers and employees who had experienced things and that they had seen apparitions in the restaurant. He said he had experienced things like cans of food flying off of shelves, and just the really heavy, eerie feeling of being watched. He also told me that apparently the tenant who had previously lived in the apartment, which was in the same building as mine in the front, had mentioned to him that he had used an Ouija board in his apartment once. The owner of the restaurant had a self-proclaimed medium come to get a reading of the building. She said she felt energy vortexes in its basement. IDK what that means, but to be honest, hearing all of that was a lot because I had spent so long just trying to shrug off everything that had been happening and just ignore it all. But hearing this made me realize maybe it wasn't all just in my head. The last thing I remember experiencing was one night when my boyfriend and I were getting ready for bed. I was already in bed and he was brushing his teeth in the bathroom down the hall. My dog was coming into the bedroom to get onto her bed, and I said good night to her. My boyfriend came into the bedroom and asked, "Who were you talking to?" I told him I had just said good night to the dog. He said he was asking because he thought I was on the phone because he heard good night said out loud twice. I told him I only said it once. Thankfully, I moved out shortly after.